welcome to Tuesday, Circle Fitness. And today's routine is called Lunge. Will tear us apart. The reason for that will become clear by the end. Interesting one today, no kettlebells. All we need is a light set of hand weights, dumbbells. But you know what? Even a couple of tins of soup will do. There's a lot of it's all overhead here, so you don't need a lot of weight for this. Okay? Light dumbbells only. Okay? Honestly. Okay, there's a lot of overhead stuff, overhead squats we've got in there, overhead sit-ups, overhead jacks. So, good morning. Hi Debbie. So, yeah, that's it. Let's get warmed up. I'll go through more detail with you shortly. Right, show you the squat movement. This is my dance, y'all. Chest presses. Chest presses. Squeeze shoulders. This one's up to what I want to get down and dirty. So, let's go. Great. Next circle.
And I just love your flashy ways. This is why the puppy, you're so mean. Baby, can't you see? Sometimes your pictures hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. This is why the puppy, you're so mean. 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 You're so mean.
Unusual warm-up then, starting with jacks for 30 seconds.
You're so pretty.
Hips down, hips up. 5 seconds out of each minute. The last 15 seconds of each minute is your rest. There's no reps in, you haven't got to worry about reps today. There are some tough ones in today though. Just dumbbells and body weight. We've got a lot of overhead stuff. On those overhead things, there's going to be 2 things that are going to be important, not 3 I suppose. Shoulder mobility, spinal mobility, hip mobility. If you're lacking in one and or all of those, you can be found out some of these and they'll be quite uncomfortable to do at first. But I promise you, you stick with them, they'll get better and better and better, and your body will become more and more functional. Okay? And they will become easier and more manageable. Right, let me show you each of these exercises then. 10 to do, 3 rounds. We do the 10, very little breather, round again, 3 rounds. Half an hour in total work time and then a little finisher as well. Okay, so, number 1, we'll be doing 4 split jacks into 2 plyometric lunges. A plyometric lunge is essentially a really, really deep split jack. So, like this. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5 and 6 are deep to the floor. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you'd rather just do, rather than do the plyometric lunge, just do a deep rear lunge, that's fine. Remember, I'm doing quite a bit of lunging today. So it's the perfect time to remind ourselves, this is what you want, that tracking. Don't lunge like this, okay? Make sure you lunge with all this in line. Shoulder, hip, knee, toe, and it stays that way. So you're on train tracks, look. Okay, not like this. That's the last thing you want. Like, get rid of this internal rotation and get that external rotation there. Strong position for your body. So that's number 1. Number 2, iso push-up. So you might not last the whole 45 seconds, that's okay. Last as long as you can. You've got a couple of options to make it easier. Iso push-up will get you, well, any isometric exercise will get you very good at the exercise that you're doing. So doing these a lot will get you good at push-ups because you're holding it at the hardest point. So you come here, you're going to lower yourself down, pull the elbows and shoulders down. You're bracing your body. Then you're just going to hold yourself a few inches from the floor, if you can. Drop to the knees, if you need to. And last case scenario, just hold at the top. That's still going to be tough. If you do hold at the top, just get used to that same thing. What I always do is just pull your shoulders down. So you're engaging the lats. So important for press ups. So however you do that one, it's that. Shoulders down. Okay, ideally there, the top's fine. Right, number 3. Then we're into our dumbbells. We can more or less keep on them for the whole rest of the circuit. Lunge and lateral raise. A little bit of coordination in this one. So again, it's a lunge. So keep all this in line. Okay, you can do a power lateral raise with the dumbbells there. Then as you go into that lunge, your arms come up into a lateral raise. Okay, there. There. Okay, more demanding than it looks like. Next one, overhead sit up. So the idea of an overhead sit up, you stay locked, arms locked here, okay, up, and we come into this position. And I'm trying to keep my shoulders out of the equation. So what you don't want for this, you want to be like this, like this, like this. There, locked. Okay? Almost like you're pushing the dumbbells behind as you sit up. Okay, next one. Renegade row burpees. Got 2 burpee variations today. This is the first. Then you come down. Then you row. Hip, hip, in, up, down. Row to hip, up. Okay? Nice and easy, that one. Overhead jacks. So, holding these dumbbells overhead. Again, this isn't going to be feasible for everybody. If you get any significant pain in your lower back or knees, you just alternate to perhaps just loaded jacks or overhead side step. But if you can, You get them dumbbells locked out, and then do that jack movement while they're above your head. And if you haven't got that mobility, this will start to happen. And it will feel tough. Anyway, see how you go on. You can do that instead, but I just want to get used to getting them weights above your head. Right, another burpee variation. This time, snatch burpees. So down at the same start, feet in, bring them up, take them down. So you're just bringing them from the floor, straight up, back down. Right, what's next? Kneeling iso prone fly. So this is to complement that isometric press. This time we're doing an isometric pull. So you're going to go, again, this looks so easy. And if it is too much, drop the dumbbells and just use the weight of your own arms. Trust me, that'll be enough. Hey there, good morning. Right, you're going to kneel, sit on your heels, and then bring your chest as low as you can. And then hold and squeeze these dumbbells up in that T shape. Try not to let this happen. Okay, we're looking to work all those postural muscles across the upper back, the back of the shoulders, the muscles that are responsible for holding your posture. So for 45 seconds, you're just going to hold and squeeze. It looks easy, but it really isn't. Okay? You'll want the lightest weight you have for that. Right, almost there. Last two. Overhead squat. The hardest of all the overhead things, and this really will find you out. Any imbalances in your body, in the kinesiology of your muscles, the way your body moves, this will reveal it. Okay? So if you can, hey Mike, overhead. Then I'm going to come into that deep squat and back up. Okay, not easy. I've got very poor spinal mobility at the top, so that's where I feel it. It depends where you're immobile. If your hip mobility is poor, you'll struggle to get depth. Okay? If your shoulder mobility is poor, you'll be like this, and it'll be really tough. Just go to your limits. The more you do it, the easier it gets. All these exercises complement each other. You will improve. Last one, and then we can start. Finish on another one. Ab scissors, so you're going to hold that hollow body, head and shoulders raised off the floor. Pull the lower spine into the ground. Brace the glutes. You're going to go out, cross over, out, cross over, out, cross over. Nice, slow and controlled, okay? That's it, that's your 10. Got 3 rounds of that. And then I'll finish it soon. Right, go ready then. Number 1, 4 split jacks into 2 player lunges or just 2 rear lunges. Right, here we go then. Round 1. Right, 6. 1, 2.
The stars look like they're falling, with my face up to the sky. I reach up tall and touch them, electrified. And my body does the talking, swaying side to side. Up in the air, we're glowing like butterflies. Anything for a feeling, self-destruction or healing. Maybe that's just the reason why.
Swing into that first isometric hold. Isometric push-up. For 45 seconds. Take it easy, ready? 1, see, listen, depending on where your lack of mobility is, you can really see it with those, particularly the overhead squats. It's even ankle mobility. So, if you do struggle with those overhead squats, I suggest you stick around for total mobility. Remember, by the way, any of these on round 2, round 3, feel too much, listen, put the weight down. Do the movement, hands free. Okay, that's always an option on any of them, particularly the last, those iso fly and your overhead squats. Okay, because if you can't do it with no weight, then you're going to struggle with weight, aren't you? Right, okay, ready then. Round 2.
Ready?
Can you feel like a fake when you lie awake, speak sensible? Does that voice in your head tell me yellow spirit, say you up for a fool? We've been trying to change, so close to the park, so we should leave them know. We just can't let go. There's something in this moment.
Snatch burpees!
It's so deep, you don't know what's happening.
set. Back to the start. Right. Final round. And then we've got our last little challenge. Which is all at 4 minutes. Okay, so back to the start then. Ready? Last time, please.
'Cause
Well done, well done.
Deceptive.
So overhead squats. Elements that you may have struggled with. For me, here is my spine. It's got the spine, that's the spine. So I fight to keep that sort of high chest posture. But otherwise I'm okay. My shoulders are nice and mobile, so I can keep my arms nice and straight. So if you found that this was happening, that probably means you've got tight chest, lats and shoulders. If, like me, you found this was happening and collapsing in, that would be a thoracic and cervical spine. You're on the spine. If you can't get past 90 degrees, that will be your hips. If you can't keep quite upright and get your knees over your toes, that will be your ankles. So you need to work on those areas, depending on where you need it most. So we've got toe mobility coming up in a minute. Before we get there though, lunge will tear us apart, the final challenge. So, we've got a lot of shoulder on that, we've got a lot of core on that. We need isometric push, and we need isometric pull. So we're going to even things up with some isometric legs. So the bell's going to go just under a minute actually. On each bell, it's only 4 times, it's not long. You're going to do 30 mountain climbers. At the normal pace that you do, mountain climbers, not slow motion ones. Nice and fast, so 1, 2, 3, that's on pace. Okay, then up, and then you're going to hold an isometric lunge for the rest of the time that's on the clock. Okay, so an isometric lunge, like all isometrics, like I said before, it's a great opportunity to get good at the exercise that you're doing. So lunges, think about where each joint is. Yeah, keep this in line, shoulder, hip, knee, toe. Don't lunge from this position. Just straight away, you're off. Yeah, remember, I say it a million times, but we've got new people starting in here every day, new people start at home every day. Train tracks. I know those of you who have heard me a million times, you're bored of it, but train tracks. Imagine you're still on train tracks. Keep your foot on them tracks. You should never be inside the tracks. So when I go into my isometric lunge, I do my 30 mountain climbers, I go into my lunge, I'm taking this knee down. Ideally, look, ideal world, inch off the floor and just hold. But you may need to come a bit further up, fine. But what I want you to do is keep trying to get that. While you're down there, think of your positioning. What you first thing you want to do is stop happening is this. If you look in the mirror, some of you will be doing this, right? Get out of that straight away. It's that glute needs to engage. Open the hips. Okay? And straight away, that's the start you on the path of good hip movement, good hip mobility. It'll assist you with your squats and your deadlifting, your rows, your hinging. Okay, so keep that strong position. You don't want this collapsing of the hip all the time that so many of us have. Anyway, think about that. We're doing 4, each time different lead leg. So isometric right, 30 mountain climbers, isometric left. Repeat twice done, okay? Right, let's do it. Lunge will tear us apart. Mountain climbers, then into your iso lunge. Just do what I do, really.
I should hold you in my hands. My legs are shaking, my hands are tired, but I still hear you.
Another song room for life. Well done, mate. So mobility coming right up. Just, well, now more or less, half an hour of deep stretching while we're staying. See you in a couple of minutes for that. If not, we're back tomorrow with 3 to good. See you then. Cheers, Dave.